there is a squirrel on that tree. I thought that was really cool to catch on my live. Alright, so let's get back into what I wanted to talk about today. So I'm just leaving a workshop I had with a business who wants to create more revenue, grow with a sustainable growth in mind, exploring different ways of making more money and establishing themselves as an expert in their industry. And this is what came to my mind as we were talking about this, and as I was preparing for this today. I was talking about, as the topic, the headline says, mentions today, can you create 100 true fans? So it's said that there are only 4 ways of making more money, creating more revenue. You can drive more traffic, creating more clients. You can have your clients increase their average purchase, or you can have them buy more often. And the 4th way, you could raise your prices. In the online world, we talk often about conversion. Okay, so we're driving a lot of people, a lot of traffic to our website or landing pages or Facebook pages, and then we try to convert these visitors into people who decides to purchase something from us. I'd like us to talk about conversations instead of conversion, because today we're so fed up with being treated as traffic and being tricked into clicking a button. There is more we want for ourselves, and I think what's lacking is the conversation. It's the conversation with people. So the idea of the topic, the headline today is, can you create 100 true fans? What I mean by that is, instead of trying to drive traffic or trying to get 1 million followers on Instagram or Facebook or whatever to your newsletter, what if you focused on creating 100 true fans? And those fans, they're going to buy everything you put out, every single program you launch, service you provide, product you create, speaking engagement that you arrange, whatever. They all show up for that thing. They all pay to be part of that. Because I believe it's going to be much easier to find those 100 true fans than to grow your email list to 1 million followers. Science, social science will show you that people, we haven't, like we used to be only, we used to exist in groups of 100 up to 140 people. After the group got larger, bigger than that, it kind of broke off. It had to break off and form its own group, its independent group, because that seems to be like when we find old villages in the past, we dig them out and we find these old villages. Often at times it points to the fact that we lived in groups as large as up to 140 people. So I like to, and the reason for that is probably because that's the amount of people, that's the size of a group who you can actually know. You know their names, you kind of have a relationship to them, you know who they are, you can talk to them, you can have conversations with them. And if that's true, we can use this human evolution, this human social interaction to our benefit. So if I get to create 100 true fans, people, we're talking about people like 100 people, it's actually doable to remember their names. It's actually doable to have an engaging conversation face to face with these guys, right? So what if we did that? Wouldn't that be easier? And just imagine if 100 people pay you $30 for something that you're selling to work with you. 100 people buy that. That's going to be $3,000. That's pretty well, I'd say. Now imagine they pay you $300. $300 to work with you, every single one. Now that's going to amount to $30,000. Now that's a year's worth of money, right? So if you think about it, could you possibly create a connection, an interaction with 100 people in such a authentic, heartfelt way that they would actually become true fans, buying a bug, I think, making, wanting to connect with you and trusting what you put out there, right? They're interacting with you because you're having a true, authentic conversation with them, not viewing them as a numbers game, just trying to convert them. So, and listen, within those 100 people, there's always going to be one segment of people being very happy with what they're paying you to be part of your tribe and do business with you, and then you're gonna have one segment that wants more. They're actually willing to pay you more to work with you, and you might have one or two segments where they say like, not for me, and that's fine as well, right? But here, if you're trying to make a business work, this is what I recommend. Try to create 100 true fans. That's it. Have real and engaging conversations with them rather than just trying to play the numbers game. Right? Simon Sinek, he talks about the finite and infinite game of business. And the finite is when you're limited to numbers, you're limited to the amount of money that you can acquire. The infinite, we're talking about impact, and that's what I'm saying. When you can make an impact in 100 people's lives, that's the infinite game. That's a game where people actually want to be part of it. Okay, that's it. That's what came to my mind today as I was walking back home from this workshop. I've got about an hour to walk, but I'd actually rather do that because I'm going to be sitting on my bum anyway for quite some time today, taking some client calls. So, if this resonated or you've got any questions concerning this, because what I shared might be really out there, pop them in the comment field and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. I can see Jill and I saw someone else showing up as well. It's nice to see, and all right, that's it. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.